They say comparison is the thief of joy.
Stop saying that you need to lock in, right? I feel like when people say they need to lock in, it's usually like it's schoolwork, maybe something like competitive, maybe playing the game, or you actually going outside, like you're playing sports and stuff, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta lock in, I gotta lock in. But people don't realize when they say that they're treating locking in as like it just happens, right? You don't just lock in. And the belief that you can just lock in usually stems from like comparison, right? It's like all the examples that I use academic, uh, competitive games in any physical esports form, or just a hobby that you love, right? You something causes you to be like, let me lock in. And usually the thing that causes you to be like, let me lock in is usually you comparing yourself to that thing, right? So like sports terms, right? You see another team come in and the team on their records like they're 5-0, right? They beat every team they play against. They absolutely crush them. And then day of the game you're like, okay, let's lock in, boys. It doesn't work like that. Right? Locking in is not something that just happens. It's a process, right? Uh, a good example of actually locking in, or going through the process of locking in, is like academic, right? Many of you guys are probably in school, and you have tests and stuff, right? You don't just sit around and then the day of the test, you're like, let me log in and take this test. No, you make a plan to lock in for the test by studying, right? And furthermore, you don't just say that, oh, I'm gonna lock in a week before the test and study whatever. You got to make a plan on how you're gonna lock in, right? Professional athletes, right? People who are the best at what they do, who have to perform, right? I'm thinking LeBron, right? Y'all might know LeBron. I don't know if you don't know LeBron, you're kind of weird for that one. But LeBron doesn't just lock in, right? He has a process. He has a pre-game routine that he does to lock in, right? And it's in doing that pre-game routine that he gets in the headspace to lock in. He doesn't see the other team and he's like, wow, they're really good. I gotta lock in. No, because when you do that, you're just losing, right? Like, think of one time when you've said, let me lock in, and you actually locked in and beat whoever you're going up against. No, okay? If that actually happened, like the person was better than you, and you said, let me lock in to beat them, you didn't beat them. Same with academics, right? I'm still thinking competitive games. Same with academics, right? Same thing. If you know a class is hard, you don't just say, let me lock in, and then the class becomes easier. No, you gotta study to lock in. All right, you gotta learn. You gotta improve, and it's not an instant process. It takes time. Right. What I'm trying to say is, don't compare yourself to other people. Right. That's where locking. That's the downfall of the phrase lock in. Right, because you're being compared, and you know what they say.